problem with the whole situation is the use of this word audit. In the RICS Code of Practice for service charge sort of management and service charge certificates and budgets and so on, they, I think mistakenly, and probably not meaning to do it, they used the word audit when they talked about the sign-off of service charge certificates. Now, a service charge certificate is normally signed off by an accountant. So when you put those two words together, accountant and audit, anyone in the business world assumes, because they actually have their normal accounts audited by an accountant, they assume that it is the same thing. So the accountant will have got all the invoices, all the receipts, and they will have gone through it, and they will have forensically reviewed all of that, and then that would come up with saying, yes, this is a fair reflection of the company's accounts and so on. So when you apply that to a service charge certificate, the tenant, seeing it signed off by a sort of a name, let's say, in the accounting world, and there's that signature, they don't really go through it and look at the sort of the statement before the actual signature, which in lots of certificates cases says, in as much as we have been told this and this, then we certify these. So the word audit shouldn't really have been used, because they knew it would be associated with a normal accountant's audit, which is far more detailed. So that is really the problem. The tenant thinks they are getting something similar to what they are expected to do with their accounts, but they're not. I think it's quite a tricky situation, because the fee for that sign-off is actually passed on as part of the service charge account to the tenants. So if you ask a tenant, okay, what I'll do is I'll do a proper audit and it will cost you 12 grand instead of 2 grand, the tenant is probably going to say, oh, well, forget it then. There's not going to be that much discrepancy. Difference between 2 grand and 12 grand, 10 grand out of my pocket, that's crazy, let's not do it. So I think that part of the problem is, who's going to pay for this more detailed audit? Now, in one sense, with many buildings, it's a no-brainer. I mean, you've got every building over 100,000 square foot. The service charge budget for that building will be in the region of, especially in London, of over £1 million. Now, if you're talking about £10,000 with respect to £1 million, then it sounds crazy, because that's nothing to get a really good detailed audit of an account if it's over £1 million. Now, I can understand in the smaller buildings, it's almost not worth it. Unless there are large works being done or large standout payments being done, it's not really worth doing that detailed audit. So in one sense, it is convenient for the landlords, but the landlords are telling the truth in that they say, if I offer it for more, if I say, right, I'm going to be really responsible here, I'm going to do a great audit, so tenants, it's going to cost you this much more. The tenants are going to turn around and say, that's not right. So in one sense, it's who pays for it. At the moment, the tenants pay for it. Now, just going on from that, my research would indicate that even if the landlord said, okay, I'm going to pay for this, I'm going to put my name on the line and I'm going to do this in order to gain the certification, that would actually improve their reputation enough in order to warrant paying for it. But convincing someone of that is very difficult.